guys, Mrs. Novello here from the Expressive Arts Classroom, and today I'm going to talk about cardstock embroidery. So you have a worksheet and it is helping you practice your cursive writing with your name. And so what you're going to do is practice writing your name in cursive here, and there's some letters as a guide. And when you're finished and you look at it and redo it, you're going to do a final draft on the bottom. And the final draft is the draft that you're going to use for your cardstock embroidery. Once you're finished with that, what you'll do is you will get a piece of cardstock about this size. And what you're going to do with that is you're going to simply place your final draft letter or name in about the center of your cardstock. And I can see through it to know what is centered. I can line up the edges with the cardstock to know that it's straight. Then I'm going to take my pencil and, pressing very hard, I'm simply going to trace the letters in my name. And why I'm doing this and why I'm pressing hard is it's going to imprint the cardstock below. And that imprint is what I'm going to use as my guide for my embroidery, because I don't want to see pencil marks on my embroidery. I simply just want to use the indentation from my pencil tracing as a guide, and that's why I need to press very, very hard when I'm transferring my final draft. So when I remove this, and I hold this up, you may be able to see with the glare that there is an indent. I can certainly feel it. It's there on the front and back side. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get a thumbtack, and I'm going to pre-poke my holes for embroidery. Now I want these holes to be very close together, so I'm going to use a 1/2 centimeter as my measurement. So have a ruler handy, and with your thumbtack you're going to go over the indentation and you're going to pre-poke holes that are a 1/2 centimeter apart. And the pre-poking makes it very easy. Once you are finished, you simply work from the back doing the running stitch, and your holes are already made for you. You don't have to think about it. It's pretty brainless. So I'm not going to poke all this because we just don't have time, but now I'm going to show you how you're going to begin your embroidery. So once you're done pre-poking your holes, then you're going to turn your embroidery upside down. You're going to need to get a piece of thread that's about your arm span or finger span. Remember, we talked about the point of our finger to our elbow, and double threading your knot, which means you're threading it. It's 2 layers of thread and you're tying the end in a knot. Then what you're going to do is you're going to, with your cardstock upside down, you're going to thread your needle through the beginning of your hole, and with some tape you're going to tape it down so that it stays in place. From there, you're simply going to begin doing the running stitch. And this goes really quickly because, as I said earlier, you pre-poke the holes. They're there for you, and you're just going to go in and out of those holes using, I think, a contrasting thread. Something darker than the paper stands out really nice. We'll have a variety of colors for you to choose from. You can choose what you want. Now, as you get going, and you'll run low on thread, remember that when you have about 2 inches to 3 inches left of thread, you're going to need to finish at the bottom. So let's say I only have a couple inches left. Finish at the bottom. You'll need to cut and tape it off. Rethread your needle. Begin from the back where you left off and continue embroidering. This will look really nice when you're finished. If you finish early, then you can always create a design that relates to you. There's a flower here that I could continue to pre-poke and embroider. You could choose like a baseball or a flower, or any type of symbol that relates to you. You could also do a bubble around your name and embroider that, kind of like a border. And when you're finished, it'll look something like this.